If the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro were put in a boxing ring, who would win that fight? Now, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was released in September 22nd, 2023 for about $1,199, which is the best Apple has to offer for this year. While about a month later, on October 12th, the Pixel 8 Pro was released for about $999, which was cheaper. I've used both phones for a while, and so in this video, we will be comparing both phones across 8 different categories, with the last 3 being some of the most crucial in my own opinion. And at the end of this, we would be able to identify a winner between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. So starting off with the design. When I look at both phones, I must say they are really astonishing. The iPhone 15 Pro Max comes in 4 colors this year: the natural, white, blue, and black titanium. The only major new design feature introduced to the iPhone 15 Pro Max was the USB-C and the new action button that replaced the mute switch button. It weighs about 221 grams, and with the titanium finish, it makes the phone feel a lot lighter. It is also IP68 water and dust resistant and can go as deep as 6 meters for 30 minutes. While on the other hand of the Pixel 8 Pro, it comes in 3 exciting colors this year: the Obsidian, the Proclaim, and the Bay Blue. It still has a similar design and form factor from that of last year, but this year a temperature sensor was added, which is one of the most obvious design changes that came with the Pixel 8 Pro this year. It weighs about 213 grams and it's also IP68 water and dust resistant, but can only go 1.5 meters underwater for 30 minutes. Though there are not so much physical differences to find an absolute winner for this round, I will be giving it to the iPhone 15 Pro because it just feels a lot more easier to hold. The new finishing, the curve around the edges, the titanium feel, it feels better to hold than that of the Pixel 8 Pro. And people who have seen this and felt these phones together, they totally agree. Which brings us to the display. Both phones have a 6.7-inch screen display with a 120Hz refresh rate and can go up to 1 Hz because they both use the LTPO technology. But for brightness, the Pixel 8 Pro has its max brightness at 2400 nits, while that of the 15 Pro has its max brightness at 2000 nits. It's a 400 difference in the nits brightness, but under that direct sunlight, those extra 400 nits, they really do come in clutch, helping you see and enjoy the best things you want to use with your Pixel phone. Like that wasn't enough, the Pixel 8 Pro is coupled with a higher pixel density, and it makes the Pixel 8 Pro look a little bit sharper than the iPhone when you're using both of them side to side. And still on the screen, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has that dynamic island that can be used to monitor your trips, your Uber, or even your delivery, while the Pixel 8 Pro has its whole cut punch, which some extra security has been given to it this year, but we'll discuss about that when we get to the camera section. For the practicality and the ease of use using both phones, the always-on display comes in clutch. But if I must say, the Pixel 8 Pro actually performs way much better when it comes to just the screen, and I'll definitely have to give it this round as the winner when it comes to both of them for the screen. Now moving on to the audio, both phones have dual speaker and they sound really great. I mean, I'm no music expert, but I've listened to both phones, listened to music from both phones, so I'm gonna kind of let you judge which of them sounds better when you listen to them. Just like expected from any flagship phone, both sound really amazing. It was so difficult for me to pick a winner, so we decided to give this round a certain draw. When it comes to processor, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has the A17 Pro chipset, while the Pixel 8 Pro has the new Tensor G3 chip. Let's look at the general performance using the Geekbench 6 benchmarking app. The iPhone 15 has an average single score of 2,595, while it has a multi-score of 6,510. For the Pixel 8 Pro, it scores about 1,523 and about 4,089 in the single score and multi-score respectively. So single score performance is important for routine tasks like sending an email or text, while the multi-core performances is what you want to really pay attention to if you're someone that frequently games or edit pictures or videos or photos on your phone. Based on my experience using both of them, both phones held up pretty well, but on paper the iPhone specs out the Pixel, so definitely have to give this round to the iPhone. Now moving on to the cameras, which is one of the most obvious part people get these phones. The Pixel phones are arguably one of the top 2 list of Android phones with the sickest cameras, and they're not number 2. So let's start with the Pixel 8 Pro. It features a 48 megapixel ultra wide, 50 megapixel main, and a 48 megapixel telephoto with 5x optical zoom at the back and a 10.8 megapixel camera at the front. Then at the back of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it packs a 48 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. It also has its 5x optical zoom, while the front camera is spec'd out at 12 megapixel. The 5x optical zoom is one of the major upgrades Apple made to the 15 Pro Max this year, but this year Google took their focus off the camera hardware for a little bit and did a lot of madness with the assisted AI camera features. Some of these features include the Magic Eraser, the Pro Controls, the Audio Magic Eraser, the Best Take, the video features, and I'm sure that is still going to be released this year, and also the Video Boost. I'm really anticipating this one because it would change the entire video game for the Pixel 8 Pro. Let's take a look at some of these pictures and see how they compare, starting from the main camera in the daytime and in low light capacity, to be able to determine the winner for both of them. Simply looking at these pictures, you would agree with me that the Pixel 8 Pro definitely takes the win in this category, and this leads us to the battery life. Though on paper, the Pixel 8 Pro has more battery life than that of the iPhone, the iPhone's efficiency with the battery life, I have to recommend it. I used this phone for an entire day. Actually, I've used both of them for an entire day. The only thing I noticed was that the iPhone 15 Pro Max did drain fast from 100 to 80, but then it picked up and started draining as normal as it would. The Pixel 8 also just gradually reduced in the battery capacity, but both phones actually held up, and I was able to use both of them as a normal day for about 24 hours. I didn't really know which to pick, so I'm going to give this section a full-blown draw. Moving to security, the Face ID speaks for itself and needs definitely no introduction. It is very stable, secure, and works as expected. While for the Pixel 8 Pro, we have an in-display fingerprint scanner, though it's not the fastest out there compared to the S23 ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanners. But now, what I do like is we do have a secure facial unlock for the Pixel. If you recall, previous versions could not be used on secure apps like banking or payments, but Google has upgraded this and now it is secure enough to be used on those apps. So that kind of even things out, but I'm definitely going to have to give the aspect of security to the iPhone just because of its consistency over time, how secure the Face ID is, and also how difficult it is to generally get into the iOS application because it is not shared across, unlike that of the Android. And that leads us to the software aspect of it. Because this is a subtle iOS and Android comparison, if you're already knee deep in an ecosystem, it can be hard to try something new, and sometimes it's really not necessary because people have their preferences and these phones have their unique experiences. Exploring the software of these two phones proved my unique experiences point. The Google Pixel 8 Pro runs on the latest Android version, Android 14, and according to Google, this device will have 7 years of software support. A whole 7 years. That is really impressive. But let's see how long Google will actually do this for. The Android 14 comes with more control over data, upgraded customization pickers, and better accessibility options, while the 15 Pro Max, on the other hand, runs on the newly released iOS 17, and this one comes with a lot more cool features that include things like the name drop, which makes contact sharing so much seamless, an updated phone app, FaceTime updates with video and audio messages feature, the standby mode, journal stickers that allows you to create your own stickers, and so much more. The 15 Pro Max is set to have software support for about 5 years, which I feel is a little bit more believable than the 7 years Google is offering. Google leaned this year a lot more towards AI, and for a lot of their software features like Summarize, Fix It, and Grammar Check, the multiple language support feature and call screen helps a lot of users save time and taking advantage of AI. Call screen helps you scan calls from unknown numbers, thus reducing the number of spam calls you get on a daily. The interesting thing is that Google Assistant now sounds more human, So it's like having your own personal assistant, literally. That is pretty cool. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is not left out. It has so many useful features that includes the standby mode, live stickers and reactions like I mentioned earlier, and I'm a little bit more intrigued with the Pixel 8 Pro software features. But in all, both softwares are really pushing it to the max this year, but generally I would give this section definitely to the Pixel because of this software update. So there you have it. This was a heated battle and it was difficult picking an absolute winner between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now let's keep in mind that these phones were released this year and a lot of software updates are still expected to come for these phones before we can determine the absolute best of the best. For me, I've used both the 15 Pro Max and the Pixel 8 extensively and I love them for what each of them really does well. For the Pixel 8 Pro, I really miss iMessage on this, but I love using this phone when I'm outside because of that amazing screen brightness and just how easy it is using this phone to connect with my other Google applications and work tools. While on the iPhone, on the other hand, I'm used to it connecting to my entire ecosystem as I use the Mac and other Apple products, and that just gives me so much flexibility. So it really boils down to you picking which one suits your need. But both phones are an absolute banger and you get value for your money regardless of which you decide to go with. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you enjoyed it. For my final take, I would be leaning towards the Google Pixel 8. Hope you had fun here, and if you'd like to see more of our other videos, click on this link here on the side and I'll see you there. Peace.